All right, guys. So today we're going to talk about kind of the realities of recruiting in today's college baseball landscape. So something that I've done with a lot of my players is I've asked, where do you guys want to go to college? I have quite a few kids that I'm working with right now that want to play at the college level, but I think it's always important to understand how good the schools are that you're wanting to go for and what you need to do to get there. So what I did was I was able to comb through the Trackman database that I have access to and look at some of these schools and pull up their average velocities and movements of all their pitches, even by right-handed versus left-handed pitchers, because that does make a big difference. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to dive into that and kind of show you what I'm talking about with that. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right. So here's kind of a look at this breakdown. All this is we have their team codes that I pulled from Trackman, the name of the school, the arm, pitch type. Then here we have the average velo, max velo, the spin, average, release heights, all the movement numbers, all right? So this is organized for right-handed pitching and fastballs. At the top, the highest velocity of some of the guys that we're looking at are all SEC schools. So that's Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU, Florida, Texas. These premier schools, if you want to play in the SEC, you must have a premier arm. And when I say premier arm, some of these teams are averaging at the same velocity as MLB teams. No joke, if you are going to play at one of these teams, you are a top 10 round draft pick potentially out of high school, and then again out of college if you can play. That's the thing, though. The name of the game is you got to find a place where you can play, because if you could be a great arm, but if you're stuck behind three guys that are going to go in the first round, you're never going to see the field and you're never going to get drafted or have that opportunity to continue on somewhere, even if that's pro ball in another country. So let's talk about that. So Arkansas, this is based off last year's Trackman data, and we can see there's two fastball tags. That means different stadiums tagged them differently. But you can see that the average fastball velocity for right-handed pitchers was 94.7 and 95.6. All right. So in general, what we're looking at a 95 mile per hour fastball is the average at the University of Arkansas, with guys topping out at over 100 miles an hour. All right. That is big league stuff. So if you want to play at a school like Arkansas, you got to be averaging 95, not touching 95, but consistently throwing every single fastball at 95 miles an hour. Then you see the same trend at Tennessee. That's 94.6, LSU 94.3, Florida 94. And something I want to mention about Florida is not just 94, it's 94 with plus movement. All right. That means 18.3 inches of induced vertical break and 9 inches of horizontal break. That's a very efficient, well-moving fastball. All right. So when we talk about these teams and do you want to play at that level, yeah, you're really going to have something special. And especially looking here, like University of Tennessee, it's not just 94.6 miles an hour. It's 94.6 from a super low release point that creates a flat fastball up in the zone. So they have a type of guy that they're going for, and that's who they recruit, that's who they get, and that's who plays at University of Tennessee. But does that mean that every Division I school you have to throw 95? No, not at all. So let's scroll down here. You can see a bunch of these schools, we're going to zoom in more, are averaging in the 91 range. So University of Miami is about 92. UCLA is about 92. Even at Vanderbilt, if you're a right-handed arm, it's about 92. So, okay, those are pretty good colleges. Again, but you have to sit 92. And if you look over here, that max velo at these big schools, 97, 98, 101, 97, 100, 98. So these schools, not everybody is throwing super, super hard, but a good bit are throwing hard, and they have some premium arms that are definitely draft guys ahead of you. So if you're going to play at one of these big schools, be ready for that. Know that that's the type of guy that they're recruiting. All right. But you can see as we scroll down, there are a lot of schools whose average velocities are not even 90. Like Cal State Fullerton, 89.9. It's almost 90, but it's not 90. Like Elon University, that's a good school in North Carolina. That's 89 as well. Columbia in the Ivy League is 89. Then you've got Princeton, 89. Boston College is 89.3. You got schools like Pepperdine right here. It's 89 flat. All right. So depending on where you want to go, there's a big variety. All right. Even let's keep scrolling down. Cornell, the average fastball is 87 with it topping out at 93. So if you have the grades, you can still play Division I baseball, just at a lesser conference. Like the Ivy League is clearly not the SEC. There's not nearly as many guys getting drafted, but that is an option if you want to play at a big school. It's not like you have to throw 95 to play everywhere, just in these premier conferences. But still, we've got a lot of good schools in here. And even look at this. We have, where is it? I think you saw it a little bit earlier. Northwestern University, averaging 86. So that's in the Big Ten. Like a Big Ten school where average fastball for right-handed pitchers was 86 miles per hour, topping out at 93. Obviously, they're not a big contender in the Big Ten, but if you wanted that big school environment, there's a lot of different schools out there for you guys. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. And then I'm going to even flip it over to lefties real quick for the few of you guys that are lefties. That's a much different standard too, because there are fewer lefties. You can see that at the top range, you're at 92, 92, 92. Like Vanderbilt's a little bit hotter there because I think their priority is on getting left-handed arms. And again, 92 at Arkansas, 92 at LSU. So these big programs in the SEC and ACC, you're probably wanting to be 91, 92 to play there as a left-handed pitcher. But if we scroll down, these kind of middle-tier schools like University of San Diego, quality school, Santa Clarita, quality school. If you are 87, sitting 87, maybe topping 90 on occasion, you're a Division I pitcher for a left-handed. So just know that there's a different range, different schools, different levels, but there's a lot of different variety out there. It's all about finding, though, the place that you can play. That's the emphasis. You may want to play at one of these big schools, but are you? And this kind of data shows exactly what they're going for and what's kind of the name of the game right now. So for those of you that with any other questions, please let me know. And we can talk more about this, or we can look up other schools.